It's Monday, March 12th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. A warm welcome to you. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. And topping the news at this hour, Prime Minister Frondo Stewart breaks his silence on the manner in which Parliament was dissolved. The life of Parliament automatically came to an end on March 6 without the Prime Minister setting a date for a general election. It's an unprecedented move in Barbados's history, which has caused much debate. However, the Prime Minister told a joint branch meeting of the Democratic Labour Party at the Leicester Vaughan Secondary School last night that the move was done deliberately.
It stands dissolved by the effluxion of time. I did not dissolve it deliberately. And of course, the experts have been given expressions to their surprise. This is the first time in Barbados' history that a parliament was allowed to stand dissolved by effluxion of time. That is how history is made. History is not made by things happening the same way all the time. History is made by doing things differently. It makes no sense saying, this is the first time in the history of Barbados that there's a secondary school in St. Thomas named the Leicester Vaughan Secondary School. That is how history is made. So the parliament stands dissolved. And we have 90 days within which to have a general election in this country. According to Section 36, I think it is, of the Representation of the People's Act, there has to be polling day, nomination day, and not fewer than 14 or not more than 21 days later, there has to be polling day. And I can assure you that all of that is going to happen.
Also addressing the meeting was candidate for Christ Church East Central, Ronald Jones, and he took issue with what he says was a deliberate attempt by a Canadian diplomat to interfere in the country's domestic political affairs.
Because you want to cuddle and canoodle. You want to have nostrils clean or clear. And say to the people of Barbados, vote for that person. How dare you? You should be asked to leave or your government. Your government should tell you, come home. You have interfered in the domestic political affairs of Barbados. Back your Georgie bundles. How dare you? I like young Trudeau in Canada, but I ain't going up there and telling anybody vote for you. You hear good, Bajan? I'm not going over there and say to any Canadian, go out and vote for him. So how dare you, in the honor visited upon you by your government, come to our country and interfere in the domestic political agenda of Barbados? Cry the beloved country.
Meantime, the opposition leader, Mia Motley, is asking questions of Prime Minister Stewart, including why he has not named a date for the poll.
Ask the Prime Minister why he has not called the election yet. Ask the Prime Minister if this has anything with him wanting to go to the same Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London to meet the Queen, to take a picture with the Queen in April next month. Ask him whether it has anything to do with the fact that as a student of history, he wants to be present at what may become the Queen's last Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting if she does not travel outside of the UK again. Ask the Prime Minister whether this means more to him than Commonwealth citizens voting in Barbados because he has not given the directive to listen to the judgment of the Chief Justice. Ask the Prime Minister whether it means more to him to go to London to take a picture with the Queen than to find the money to make the foreign debt payments in the month of June that Barbados has to make.
That was Barbados Labour Party leader Mia Motley addressing a political meeting at the Sheffield playing field at Lower Estate, St. George. At the same time, leader of the Barbados Integrity Movement, Neil Holder, has expressed concern over what he says is election campaigning by the opposition BLP during the Lenten season. Holder, who described the move as disturbing, said it showed a blatant disregard for the religious practice.
Yet again, the Barbados Labour Party being extremely presumptuous, following the act of putting up posters around the country, has today engaged in having a motorcade going around, you know, with loud music and introducing the Barbados Labour Party. Now, I have no objection to that if it were any other time except smack in the middle of the Lenten season, a season that is religiously observed all over the world, and in particular in Barbados by perhaps 90% of the population, the Christians, and so on.
In sports, West Indies women went under by 205 runs in the final one-day international against New Zealand women. Asked to chase a target of 311 at the Hagley Oval on Sunday, the Caribbean side mustered a paltry 105 to suffer their third straight defeat in the series. Captain Stephanie Taylor top-scored with 26. The Caribbean ladies now turn their attention to the first T20 international of the 5-match series, which starts on Wednesday.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our Caribbean neighbors, voters in Grenada will head to the polls tomorrow to elect a new government. And over the weekend, political parties made last-ditch attempts to woo the electorate with mass rallies. Political observers say Tuesday's poll favors the ruling New National Party of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, even as the main opposition National Democratic Congress, led by Nazim Burke, is predicting an upset victory. And finally, on the international front, 2 people are dead and 3 critically injured after a helicopter went down in New York's East River. This is what authorities had to say about the crash.
There were a total of 6 people on the helicopter, including the pilot. The National Transportation Safety Board will be conducting an investigation into the crash. This is preliminary information. This just happened a couple hours ago. The helicopter is owned by Liberty Helicopter Tours, and it was a private charter for a photo shoot. I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Nigro now. Dan.
As Commissioner O'Neill said, there were 6 people on the helicopter. The pilot freed himself. The other 5 did not. So police and fire divers entered the water and removed the other 5. 3 of them were removed in critical condition. They have been removed to the hospital. 2 of them were pronounced dead at the scene. So we have a total of 5 victims, 3 in the hospital right now. We don't have an outcome on them. The pilot is okay. He was taken to the hospital to be checked out, but he was able to get out. It took a while for the divers to get these people out. They worked very quickly, as fast as they could. That's 50 feet of water there. There was a 4-mile-an-hour current, and the temperature is below 40. So everyone worked very hard. It's a great tragedy that we had occur here.
And on that note, we come to the end of our news and sports update. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And don't forget, Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.